호텔 사업가.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Question for you.
Yeah.
How old were you when you became a millionaire?
You have to ask a millionaire.
What do you mean?
I'm a billionaire.
You're a billionaire?
Yeah.
How old were you when you became a billionaire?
Oh, in my 50s.
In your 50s?
Yeah.
And what line of business were you in?
The hospitality business.
What were you doing in hospitality?
It's a funny story. I was busboy to boardroom. I've done every job. Created Diamond Resorts International.
Yeah, so you're a business owner.
I was. Hilton owns my company today.
Hilton bought your company?
Hilton bought my company.
Wow.
Eventually, yeah.
What did the company do?
I own hotels. Yeah,
Actually-
all over the world, 35 countries.
Do you come from a lot of money?
No, like I started with negative $20 million. Unfortunately, my father went broke. I had to pay it off. So I didn't start from zero. I started negative $20 million. Try that party trick.
And what did you turn that into?
I actually created a company that was worth $2.2 billion, $3.3 billion equity value. Actually, enterprise value, yeah.
Wow. What was your relationship with debt as a business owner?
I always made sure that I never over-levered myself, and I always paid my partners back as quick as I can. My bank's off as quick as I can before I took money myself. So I always made sure that people were paid off before I paid myself.
Did you go to college?
I did.
Did college help you become a billionaire?
It taught me how to think logically because I went to school to be a surgeon. I never went to business school, but I kind of did because Mike Milken helped me learn business. He gave me my business degree. And Harry Reid taught me about politics and policy.
You've sold billions of dollars in revenue and in profit throughout your career. What is a billionaire's secret to sales? Give me some sauce on sales right here.
Listen.
Is that simple?
Listen.
Yeah.
The customer, your friends, your bankers will always tell you the pathway. Listen.
Yeah.
Deliver equal or greater value.
But what's your best negotiation advice as a billionaire?
Put the pen across the table and the first person who talks loses.
Yeah, actually, break that down. You don't want to speak first in a negotiation is what you're saying.
When the deal is ripe, it solves itself. Just put the pen across the table and shut up. But that comes from listening.
What's a lesson about money that banks don't want people to know?
The lesson, I would never negotiate with my banks. Don't negotiate with your banks. Make sure you make your banks a ton of money. They'll always be there for you.
What do you mean by that? Because banks are in the business of making money for themselves.
I never negotiated rate. I always made sure my banks made a lot of money with me. We all made a lot of money together.
Yeah.
Everyone was always paid back. Everyone.
Have you ever been broke before?
Came damn close to being broke. Never. But it was usually for unintended consequences like 9/11, the financial crisis of 08, 09. Uncontrollable situations.
What do you mean by 9/11?
When the planes hit the Twin Towers. And I was in the hotel business, and we had guests at our hotel, and then all the planes stopped flying. I had no customers. My cash register went to zero.
How important were relationships for you?
Relationships are always very important, but a matter of fact, you got to stay out of one zip code, the zip code of bad people. If they're around your life, make them go away. Don't go in that zip code. You are who you hang around with. So hang around people that are smarter than you always, that are more successful than you. Learn, and you'll have your time. But you got to work hard.
Right.
There's no free lunch. There's no lottery. And if you win the lottery, it's called the lottery curse. So you will go broke.
Yeah.
Bad things will happen to you.
Right.
You have to earn it the old-fashioned way. Work hard.
What's the red flag that you see in people that tells you stay away from that person?
When you're leasing a Lamborghini or leasing a house in Bel Air or Beverly Hills, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Don't stay there. Don't drive it until you can pay cash for it.
So you can't trust people who are renting is what you're saying.
Flakes, frauds, cons, grifters.
Wow, you got amazing advice, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
미용 사업가.
Excuse me, ma'am. Quick question for you. Have you ever been broke before?
I have.
And what line of business were you in?
I owned hair salons.
So you were a business owner.
I was, but I sold it.
How much did you sell your company for?
255 million?
You sold a company for over 250 bill?
I did.
Actually.
Yep.
Did you have a lot of money when you started your company?
No, I had no money. I had no money. Luckily, my brother had a little bit of money. My brother was one of the first employees at Yahoo back in the day. So he had made a little bit of money, but I had no money. But he offered me basically sweat equity and said, you run the business and I'll, and be the day-to-day. And he had another job at the time. I was like, so let me get this straight. I don't put in any money, but I have 50% equity, which I thought I was like, that's a great deal. Like, yeah, no, I had nothing back then.
Did you raise a lot of money?
We did, 75 million.
You raised 75 million.
About 75 million, give or take, yeah.
8 out of 10 companies in today's world, they don't make it past 5 years.
Oh, I know. I've invested in a lot of those. Yeah.
What's the number one reason why those businesses fail?
What I see in general, most businesses, they're just not paying attention to enough of the details that are important. And also, I believe in asking your employees, asking your customers, what's working for you, what's not. And most people don't want to hear bad feedback because it hurts. And you're you've put all this money into this business and you don't want to be told something you've thought is good isn't good. But if you can get past that and listen and pay attention to what's going on in your business and what's working and what's not working, I just don't think a lot of people even see it to be able to correct it.
So in other words, the littlest things can make some of the biggest differences businesses.
Huge. I mean, you know how it is. Whether you're going into a restaurant or your favorite coffee shop, you inherently, whether you realize it or not, you feel better if everything's taken care of. You feel like there's somebody in charge. Things are running smoothly. You're not waiting forever. The person at the front isn't have attitude with you. Like you go to the bathroom, it's not disgusting. Like there's a ambiance that a business owner can create to make you as the customer, me, feel comfortable. And I really like being here. They don't often know why. You know, have you ever been in like a place where someone pulls out a chair and they hear that loud like screech and you're like, why doesn't somebody fix that? Put a little thing on the bottom of the chair. Like it drives me crazy. But I'm a lunatic. Like I will go into any place and be like, this could be so much better. You know, so I think that's why, to your point, I didn't know exactly the statistics, but yeah, so many fail because they're just not paying attention.
As a multiple 9-figure entrepreneur, what was the best financial advice that you ever received?
I would say be really careful who you get into business with. And that was definitely an experience that we went through as we were raising money, and we raised about 75 million. You don't want to raise money from the wrong people. And by the wrong people, I mean people who aren't in lockstep with you, what you want to build, what your vision is. It's like a lot of entrepreneurs, I think, can easily make the mistake of someone's offering to give them a lot of money to invest in their company, but they have a different idea of what they want and what the long-term vision of it is, or, you know, what infrastructure is going to look like, or if the CEO or founder is going to stay. Like there's all these things that come into play. So you have to really know who you're getting into business with, because again, it's a marriage and you want to make sure you feel really good about that, not just take a check.
마케팅 사업가
Who am I here with today?
Neil Patel,
And for those that don't know, what industry did you decide to pursue a career in?
marketing.
What was the turning point getting into entrepreneurship?
Well, I was 16 when I was starting, so there wasn't too many options other than create your own business if you wanted to make money.
What was the most amount of money that you've made in a single year?
Well, our revenue is in the 9 figures a year, and for income, I try not to make more than 4 or 5 million a year max in distributions, because I rather reinvest majority of the profits versus taking it. So I take enough to pay for my expenses. The rest I invest into buying more companies, expanding, hiring more people, etc.
What's a hack about marketing that you could give to a business owner in today's world that maybe they have a great product, but they suck at building awareness?
The number one highest ROI channel right now in marketing that most people don't want to leverage is influencer marketing. But I'm not talking about the people who have a lot of followers. I'm talking about the people that are micro-influencers between 1,000 and 100,000 followers. Look for ones that are relevant to your product and service, that have really engaged communities. Hit them up. They're super flexible in how they take compensation. So you can pay them commission-based, a percentage of sales. They'll go above and beyond to make really good content and promote your product. It's extremely profitable. We see over a 30% return on investment with micro-influencers.
And why do a lot of companies fail in today's world?
Most people would say most businesses fail because of lack of capital. I say that most businesses fail because they're going after too small of a TAM. TAM stands for total addressable market. You know, someone may look at my business and be like, oh, 9 figures, that's a lot of money. Well, some of my competitors do 15, 18 billion a year in revenue. So if you're after a really big market, it's not hard to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% of the market. If you want to go after a $10 million market, if you capture 100% of it, all you're making is $10 million a year, and that's just revenue. You want to go after something really big and just try to capture a small percentage of it.
I love it. Did you inherit the money?
No, my parents, my mom was a teacher and my dad worked at a bank.
Did you go to college?
I did go to college.
Was it worth it?
No. I would not recommend anyone go to college unless you're in a profession that requires you to go to college.
If you had to start from zero and you had 1 year to make $1 million and your life depended on it, what would you do?
I would go buy a business from someone who's retiring in a boring, ugly field like roofing, plumbing, HVAC, do seller-based financing and get an SBA loan, so a combo of both, and grow that business and put in technology like spreadsheets, invoicing, and automate all the stuff they're not doing. Get them better rankings on Google, also do their Google My Business profile, get the reviews, ratings, and grow the business.
But if you had to start from zero, how would you get the money to buy that business?
You would seller-based finance it. So you say, hey, you're retiring, you're 6 years old, you don't want your HVAC business anymore, I'll buy it from you. I'll put down 2x profit, which I can get bank financing for, and you hold the note and provide the rest of the financing.
Will banks give you money if you don't have any capital?
Yes, they will, based on that business. And the government helps. It's called SBA financing.
Wow, they don't teach that in school, you know that, right?
They don't.
That's amazing.
운송 사업가
How did you get into this business?
Oh,
What was
man,
the
you know what?
turning point?
Someone told me about it. I was driving down the freeway, and I always see these trucks going down the freeway. And I said, man, transport is always there. It's always going to be there. No electronic, no robot or anything like that is going to change it. It's just going to be there.
It's recession-proof and people can't replace
You
it.
can't replace it. You
Yeah.
can't replace it. Always going to be in a job
No.
form. You looking for a job?
not a job, but maybe another business to get into. Are you a good salesman?
Yes, I am.
What's your secret to selling?
Consistency. Never take no for an answer.
How about negotiating? A lot of people struggle to close deals. You've closed some big deals with some heavy hitters. What's your negotiation advice?
Man, like I said, consistency. Everything is consistency, man. And preference, being at the right place at the right time. You can take a piece of a glass of water, a bottle of water, and move it from place to place, and it changes its price. But it's the same glass of water.
That's a game right there. Love that, my friend. Did you go to school? You went to college or no?
Yeah, elementary was good enough.
Elementary was good enough. All right, so give them one last lesson about business that's not taught in school.
Man, you work me, man. Am I getting paid for this, brother?
Maybe.
Am I
Come on,
getting paid for
we
this?
have to cut it. We have to cut it for you.
You're lying. Get a mentor. Definitely get a mentor. Because you don't have a mentor, you don't have no direction. You know, and find out his bad moves that he had made. You can grow from there.
You got amazing advice, my friend. Thank you so much.
반드시 기억하세요. 1. 고객, 동료, 은행가의 이야기를 잘 듣고 그들에게 가치를 제공해라. 2. 가끔은 펜을 넘겨주고 입을 다물어라. 3. 현금이 없으면 그 차를 타지 말고 그 집을 사지 마라. 4. 직원과 고객에게 디테일을 물어라. 뭐가 마음에 들고 뭐가 별로인가요? 5. 큰 시장에서 작은 퍼센티지를 노려라. 6. 인생의 멘토를 찾아라.